Hey friends, welcome to Story Time. My name's Mr. Nathan, and if you're just joining for the very first time, I'm so happy to have you. And if you've joined for a while now, I'm so glad that you're back. Today we have a very cool book that we're going to read. It's called My Three Best Friends and Me, Zulay. And that's by Carrie Best. And the art is by Vanessa Brantley Newton. Oh, so before we get started and we read, if you're new, here's what's going to happen. We're going to read our story together, and Mr. Nathan, he might ask you some questions. So I'm going to need your help to answer some questions. Can you do that for me? All right, I knew that you could. And we're going to do an activity that you can do with your adults. So make sure your adult's around. And adult, I'll tell you later how you can get the activity if you want to do it. And then we're going to sing a song, listen to a song. You can get up, move, dance, but that's how things are going to go. So, when we first start reading, what we like to do is go find our comfy spot. So you go find your comfy spot, Mr. Nathan. I'll pull up the book and we'll get started reading. So I'll see you over there. All right. I'm glad to see you made it to your comfortable spot. Now we're getting ready to read My Three Best Friends and Me, Zulay. In class 1-3, there are 22 chairs and 22 desks, 22 pencils and 22 books, 22 hooks and 22 smocks. There are 22 people and 22 names, and one of them is mine, Zulay. All right, do we see the 22 desk? We don't see all of them necessarily. And then we see the 22 smocks in the back of the room. Do you know what a smock is? Look at it. What do you notice in the back there? Yeah, they have paint or some kind of color all over them, don't they? I bet it's so when they're doing their art projects, they don't get messy. They put on their, let's call it a coat, but another word would be the smock, and they get ready to do their project so they don't get their clothes dirty. All right, let's see what we continue to learn in our story. We come to school in our uniform blues, by bus, by car, by our moms, like me, our blouses ironed, our hair shampooed, for best friends who help each other, four best friends who help themselves, Maya, Nancy, Zulay, and Ching. All right, what do we notice? They come to school and they get dropped off one of those ways, but you know what? Sometimes people don't get dropped off that way. Sometimes they have to take a bus, sometimes they have to walk, sometimes they don't have moms to take them, but they have some kind of adult, right? So there's many ways that people show up and go to school. And do you know what it means to wear a uniform? Let me ask you this. If Mr. Nathan is wearing a uniform, what would it be? Do you have an idea? Oh, somebody got it. It's the fact that he wears the duck shirt. So every time I have story time, I wear this particular shirt, don't I? The same shirt over and over. Just like our friends in the story, they have to wear a specific thing when they go to school. Sometimes we don't have to do it. Who else wears uniforms that you know? Oh, police officers, firefighters, people on sports teams, the military. We got all kind of people that wear uniforms, don't we? Yep. All right, so they're getting ready to go to school. Let's see what happens. We link our arms and skip our legs and sing like the stereo till Miss Perkins, the hall lady, tells us to stop. You have new perfume, I said. And she says back, Zulay doesn't miss a thing, which makes me smile and show my tooth. My tooth that's loose from eating those carrots that I washed and scraped myself. It's time for school, Nancy says, and sure enough, when the shoe shuffling stops, we all line up for two-arm hugs from our teacher, Miss Seeger, who leads us to our door. Good morning, everyone, she says. Then her key clicks the lock for the class to begin. All right, sometimes they'll do that at school, and sometimes our teachers give us different options. We don't always have to hug, right? Because sometimes we don't feel like hugging. Yeah, sometimes we can do a fist bump, or we can do a high five, or sometimes we say, hey, I don't want one today, right? We can do that. All right, so they enter the class. We hang up our bags and take down our chairs and don't care if they land softly or thunder like a stampede. So they don't care if it's soft or if it's really, really loud. Hey, when you look at the picture, what do you notice about their names on their desk? Oh, yeah. Mr. Nathan notices that too. So they have dots on their name tags, don't they? I wonder if we'll figure out what that means. What do you think it means? Oh, all right. We'll have to keep reading so we figure out if you were right. I feel with my knees for where the chair fits and sit in my seat like Miss Long at the library, like I can't wait for someone to ask me a question. Inside my desk are crumpled papers, pencils, and kisses, and a folded up cane. A folded up cane that I pushed to the back for later. Oh, yep, we can see it in her desk. She's got the paper and the Hershey Kisses, and there's a cane. I wonder what she's going to do with that. What do you think? Ah, okay. Let's see. Then my mama bought me new shoes, I shout. They're pink, she said, and good for running. But I forgot there's no talking in Miss Seeger's class. If you have something to share, Zulay, please raise your hand. So I just think about my new shoes and try not to talk. Oh, yeah. What do we notice in this picture? She's got a big smile on her face thinking about her shoes, doesn't she? And what about her friend behind her? He's like, oh, Zulay, can you be quiet? I'm trying to read my book. All right, let's keep reading. Miss Seeger says, this morning we'll do shapes and numbers and lots of really good writing. Some of you will get help with math, and some of you will read with me. Then Miss Turner will work with Zulay while the rest of us go to the gym, and after lunch, there'll be a big surprise. I don't like when I hear my name sticking out there by itself. If no one else has to have Miss Turner, then why do I? But I don't say the way I feel. I might stick out even more. like a car alarm in the night, waking everybody up. Man, have you ever felt that way before? Where it feels like you're the only one getting called on and you're sticking out. Sometimes they say sticking out like a sore thumb, right? But I like Zulay's example, right? Sticking out like a car alarm going out in the middle of the night, going wah, 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 Zulay, Zulay, Zulay. Yeah, that wouldn't feel too good, would it? Let's see what she has to go do with Miss Turner. Now it's time for shapes. What's a pyramid? I go to touch it all five sides before I draw one at my desk. Up and down, right and left, I hold the pencil with one hand and follow the pencil point with two fingers of my other hand. How's this? I ask Maya. And Maya says, a tiny bit crooked. So I try and draw it straight, straight like my cane, my folded up cane that's waiting for me in my desk. Oh, yeah. Look, we can see Maya's triangle on one side, or pyramid on one side, and then we can see Zulay trying to do it on the other side. They don't quite look the same, do they? Nope, they don't. But maybe there's a lesson in that. I bet we'll figure it out by the end. What do you think? All right, let's keep reading. Then we do numbers. And Maya says, huh? So I explain the columns of tens and ones until she understands. Oh, so look at that. When they did the shape, Maya could help Zulay. And then when they did the math, Zulay was able to understand and help Maya. Because sometimes we're better at things than our friends, and sometimes they're better than us. And that's why we need each other, right? We need to be able to help each other when we're good at something and they might not be as good, or they need to help us when we're not as good and they're better than we are. Why do you think uh, Zulay is so good at math? Do you have a guess? Oh, okay. I wonder if it has something to do with the blocks. I bet we'll figure it out. Writing is next. This is what I type on. My brailer. One day I'll run and the wind will push me and the sun will shine me and I'll feel like a bird who opens her wings and flies. Only I'll fly with my feet. And so she's typing. And you know what? Sometimes, if you've never seen a typewriter, which I bet you haven't, it's like a keyboard, right? That's a way we type on something like that normally if we're not using a brailer. But she's going ding, 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 ding. And I bet we'll learn why it's different than a keyboard. Today is Cheng's turn to type on my machine. The dots feel like goosebumps, she whispered, and I laugh. That's how I read, I say. I see with my fingers. Reading used to be hard before my hands learned the way. So was climbing a tree and swimming, because in the beginning, all I did was fall and sink and not want to do it, like I don't want to do the cane. You'll learn the cane too, Miss Turner told me, but she never said it would be a cinch. I know she she's here now. My nose no, my nose knows her juicy fruit and the smell of the fresh outside. Isn't that interesting? So Zulay can't see very well, but all of her other senses are picking up things that her friends probably aren't, right? Because what do we notice about when Miss Turner came in? She said, "My nose knows." So she's using her sense of smell to know that Miss Turner's there. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. All right, let's see what Miss Turner helps Zulay do. First, Miss Turner has me feel the cane after I take it out of my desk. That folding, holding, colding cane. I open it and fold it and hold it in my lap. I imagine how I look with this thing that no one else has. And I want to shout, "No!" like I did last time, but instead, I try and be patient and get it over and done with. Yeah. What do we notice about Zulay in that one, right? She looks kind of sad, kind of worried, because she doesn't like to feel different, right? She's the only one that uses the cane. All right, let's keep reading. Out in the hallway, Miss Turner says, that cane will let you walk down streets where there are curbs and corners. One day you'll be an expert in finding your way outside, the way you are an expert around your classroom. So, what do we notice? She's got her cane out in front of her and she's using it like her eyes, right? Because she's navigating and moving around in a big space. Let's see if we learn more about the cane. Then we practice together in the big outside with no walls or desk or friends, side to side, side to side. Let the cane touch things first. You have to learn to trust it, says Miss Turner with her juicy, fruity smell. My cane finds a tree, and my cane finds a car. It snaps back and it gets stuck until I say, I'm so tired, which makes Miss Turner say, okay, we can go back inside now. Oh, what do we notice about that? Sometimes we have to say that we're tired when we try things, right? And that's why we need important people in our life to know when we've given it our best try. And sometimes we need them to say, oh, we can try a little bit more, right? But the teacher, Miss Turner, she knew best in that situation. I'm happy to put my cane away, but Nancy wants to try it out. No, I shout, and I put it back in my desk for tomorrow. You know why it's important that she said no there? Because it's not just a toy, right? Her cane are like her eyes. Where are your eyes? Right here, right? And what do we use our eyes for? To see what's around us, right? So sometimes we have to say no because that's like taking Zulay's eyes away from her, right? Yeah. And we have to be able to set boundaries and be able to say no sometimes, even with our friends. After lunch, we dance and we sing, shaking our heads and our tails, Maya, Nancy, Zulay, and Ching. our arms attached like sausage links as the boys whistle, woo, woo, woo. Soon we're back at our desk waiting for Miss Seeger's surprise. Are you ready? Whispers Ching. Ready, I say. And Nancy says, shh, way too loud for my ears. In 3 weeks, Miss Seeger tells us, we will be having field day. There will be contests and races and games outside. Some people whisper and some people shout. Some clap like Maya and me. Go home and think about which event you would like to be in, Miss Seeger says. And everybody does. Oh, yeah, they look excited, right? They got their hands raised and everybody's got smiles on their face. So, what event do you think Zulay will want to do at field day? Oh, maybe, maybe there was a hint in our story before now. Let's see. The next morning, we sound like noisy bees, buzz, buzz, and buzzing. Maya would like to play Capture the Flag. Nancy would like to play Tug of War. And Ching thinks she would can walk holding an egg on a spoon. Everyone wants to do something different. Oh man, which one of those would you want to do? You know what was Mr. Nathan's favorite? The Tug of War. Yeah, he loved that one. Um, and what about you, Zulay? Miss Seeger asked. Oh, here we get to see if you're right. I would like to run the race in my new pink shoes, I say to a class as silent as stones, except for Miss Turner. She's here again. You go, girl, she says. Let's work with your cane on the track. Oh man, so all of her friends don't know what to say. Then she takes me to the wide outside. The cane jabs and pokes and snaps. Let the cane be your longest finger, she says, when you need to know what's coming. I wonder if I can get it right. I hear the other kids. They're practicing too, huffing and puffing and laughing. This stuff is so hard, someone complains. And I know just how he feels. Only I'm not laughing because I'm not sure I can do it. Yeah, have you ever felt that way? Where you weren't sure if you could do something, especially when it was brand new and you were just learning? Yeah, Mr. Nathan's felt that way before too. I think we all feel that way sometimes. A few days later, I surprise myself. I get from my classroom to the track all by myself, walking with the cane. Now you're cooking, Miss Turner says, and I believe that I really am. Then she gives me a stick of her juicy fruit gum, and I give her a kiss of my chocolate. It's time to practice that running, she says. We try our best to glue our arms, running ourselves as one, but Miss Turner and I get all mixed up with our knees and our legs and our feet. Then one day, after so many days, we finally get it right. Miss Turner and me, our legs and our feet all know how fast we can go. Oh, yeah. Imagine that. Have you ever tried to do that with your friend? What does it take? It takes practice, right? Yeah, we don't get it on the first try. We have to do it over and over again, and that's what Zulay is teaching us. On field day, everyone is bubbling. I hear mamas and papas and cameras clicking. Friends are here with their yes. My event is very last. And now it is just about time to start. Yeah, look, everybody's in the crowd. There's probably aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas. Everybody's there to watch their kids compete and see how they do. All right, let's see how Zulay does with her pink shoes. Miss Turner and I stand at the top of the track, so ready to run the race. The smooth round track that I know like my hands, the track that I know like my feet. Run, Zulay, run! My friends all shout the way I shouted for them. Maya, Nancy, Zulay, and Ching, four best friends who help each other, four best friends who help themselves. So with the wind pushing me and the sun shining, I feel like that bird that went flying. Wow, look, she finished the race. What a great story. What was your favorite part? And what did you learn from Zulay? Oh, okay. I like that. You know, I love how they end the story. Sometimes you and I, we have to help ourselves, and sometimes we have to help our friends. So make sure and stay around for the song and the activity. They're all going to be about our friends and ourselves to help with some of the lessons we learned from Zulay. And don't forget to give it a like and share it with your friends so they can come visit us during the next story time. All right, I'll see you for our next activity. All right, I'm so excited about today's activity. So during our story with Zulay, we learned that she was taught to read differently because of why? Because she's blind and she can't see. So she had to learn to use Braille, right? Where she would rub her fingers on the paper and each letter would be bumped up in a specific way. It would have raised bumps, and each one meant that it was a specific letter, right? So what we see on the screen is actually what Zulay would see when she would read. This is a Braille or the Braille alphabet. And so what do we notice about our alphabet here? How many circles are there for each letter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're right, there's 6. And then what do we notice out of the 6? That certain ones are colored in, right? Right. So that's where we would be able to feel the difference, right? So during today's activity, we're going to color in our initials of our best friend. All right, we're going to practice using the Braille like Zulay would. So if you want to do it in a way where you can feel the difference, you could use something like paint to make it bump up, adults. But if you just want to do it to practice coloring it in so you recognize the difference, if you can see, then you can do it that way too. But it'd be really cool if you were able to put some paint on there so you could feel the difference when you ran your hand over the paper, wouldn't it? Right? Because one of the best ways to make someone feel included is to learn how they have to be in the world, right? So if we can learn to read the way that Zulay does, she can feel a little bit less different, right? And we learn a lot. All right, so let Mr. Nathan close this part out, and then I'll pull up our activity so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, let me hit share screen again. All right, here we go. So this is our 3 best friends activity. And so you see those circles just like we saw in the Braille alphabet? This is where you would make the initials of your best friend. So you would color it in to match whatever letters their names start with. All right. And then we have what? Yeah, we have 3 different shapes. Can you tell me what shapes they are? A rectangle, a circle, and a triangle. Yeah, great job. Oh, what about these other things? Oh, yeah, you're right. They're arrows. What does it mean when there's an arrow? It's telling us to go in a certain direction. You're right. All right, so what we want to do with our 3 different shapes is I want you to think about 3 people in your life. Maybe they're your 3 best friends, just like in our story with Zulay. Or maybe they're a brother or sister, mom, dad, grandma, somebody special in your life. And I either want you to draw a picture of them or cut out a picture, get your adult to help you, and you can put it on the sheet. And so what Mr. Nathan wants you to do is think about those 3 people, and I want you to tell me in the dotted lines. So it's dotted just like that, right? We're dotting the line. I want you to tell me what that person is really good at. One thing that they are really good at. They're better than anybody else at that thing. That's what I want to go on the line. So this will help you. You're going to be learning a new way to communicate and talk by learning how Zulay has to do it. We're going to talk about your friends and remind you of why they're special. All right, friend, that is a great activity. And hey, adults, if you want to do this activity with your little one, you can go ahead and send me an email or leave a comment and let me know you want access to the PDF, and I will make sure and get that to you through email. So just email me and I'll make sure and get you the activity. All right, friend, we got one last thing left before our story time adventure for this month is over. So Mr. Nathan is going to go get our song ready. And remember, we got to have time to stretch out and get ready to sing. We're going to be singing about our friends. So head over to your spot and I'll see you over there. All right, friends, we made it to our song portion of story time. And you know, just like we got in our comfy spot, we need to make sure there's enough room around you that if you want to get up and dance and move around during the song, you can do it without hitting anybody around you. So make sure, spread your arms out, make sure you have enough room. All right. And so we learned about three best friends, and who? And Zulay, you're right. And so today's song is all about friends too. Let Mr. Nathan pull it up and we can get ready to go. All right, here we go. Favorite shape?
You know my favorite animal.
What's yours?
You know my favorite game. 'Cause you are my F-R-I-E-N-D. You are my best F-R-I-E-N-D friend. F-R-I-E-N-D. You are my best F-R-I-E-N-D. I will share my toys with you.
Oh, that's nice.
'Cause that's what friend. F-R-I-E-N-D. You are my best F-R-I-E-N-D friend. F-R-I-E-N-D. You are my best F-R-I-E-N-D friend. F-R-I-E-N-D. You are my best F-R-I-E-N-D friend. F-R-I-E-N-D. You are my best friend.
All right, what a song. F-R-I-E-N-D. You are my best friend. What was your favorite part about the song today? Did you like that they asked about what's your favorite shape? Or your favorite animal? Or even your favorite color? Who's somebody that knows those things about you? And does your friend know that? And do you know your friend's favorite color and shape and animal? I bet you do. My friend, it was so much fun spending time with you today during our story time. Remember, if you had fun, make sure and share this with one of your friends so more people can join us as we do story time every month. A like and a share goes a long way in helping Mr. Nathan and our story times keep going, because I love spending time with you guys. I love reading, and I love that you help me get through the stories. So with that, I'll see you next time. All right, bye.